Just a quick word from our sponsor, Pattern Life. I am so excited to get the word out about Pattern because one thing I learned the hard way was disability insurance. For me, researching insurance got complicated, time-consuming, and for me, I just got overwhelmed and trusted that my employer had some type of disability insurance, but boy, was I wrong in terms of what those details entailed. Pattern is great because it's actually geared towards clinicians and doctors and has helped thousands of doctors find and understand the insurance they're buying. You just click on the link in the show notes. I did this the other day. It takes 2 minutes to write your info, request quotes to compare them, or schedule a quick 15-minute phone call and buy risk-free. So request your quote today at patternlife.com so you can use your time better, save money, and be prepared for the unknowns in the future. Don't make mistakes like me and be confident that your family and income are protected no matter what the future holds. And with that, let's get back into the episode.
This is Dr. Marty Freed.
And Dr. Shreya Trivedi.
This is the Core IM podcast brought to you by Clinical Correlations.
We are so excited to finally be kicking off Core IM. We have spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours on this, and what's finally happening?
It's really hard to believe. We've been working on this since January 2017.
Yeah, crazy. I've learned so much through this process, and I'm excited to continue learning more. I'm incredibly thankful to our Core IM team for helping make this vision into a reality.
So we should probably tell the listeners about Core IM?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
So we are a group of medical educators with a vision for podcasting. There's going to be a couple of segments, and I'll let you talk about the first one, 5 Pearls.
Yep. So 5 Pearls is going to be a 15 to 20 minute segment on 5 applicable evidence-based pearls on a core internal medicine topic. And if anyone knows me well, they know I am obsessed with adult learning theory, and I want to incorporate some kind of active learning when listening to podcasts. So each podcast will start off with quizzing on the 5 pearls that we're going to cover. You know, I believe learning happens best when one is acutely aware of their knowledge gaps, and when someone has to recall, what had I learned previously about this topic? And once that's brought to the forefront, that'll really prime them that when we go into the discussion portion of the podcast, our listeners can really consolidate that new information and that learning can be much more meaningful and durable.
Totally. What we're hoping to do is to make a commitment to teaching points so that the learners can commit to what they are taking away. There's good evidence for spaced learning over time. So each podcast will also review clinical pearls from prior podcasts to boost that retention over the long term.
Yeah, I really believe in the instructional design of this 5 Pearl segment, and I'm really excited about the content we have coming up for the audience too.
Totally agree. And the second segment is just as good. So the second segment is called Mind the Gap. This is going to be a podcast about the common practices in internal medicine. For this, we have Dr. Steve Liu and Janine Knutson, who will ask the questions, why do we do what we do? AKA minding that gap between IM dogma and clinical evidence.
Yeah, so many times in our training, someone senior to us will say, yeah, you need to get 2 blood cultures for that fever. But why do we need 2 blood cultures? Or someone will say, yep, transfuse to platelets of 10 or a higher number if they have a fever. But why? So this segment will take us deeper into why we do what we do and explore the evidence or lack thereof behind some unquestioned things that we just do. And last but not least, we have to thank our amazing team. Dr. John Hwang has been such a supportive member, and you'll get to hear his genius a little bit more on our upcoming hepatic encephalopathy episode, and much more to come from him too later.
Dr. Vincent Santillo has a business background and is our social media guru. Dr. Neil Shapiro is editor-in-chief of Clinical Correlations and has been crucial in the partnership with our podcast and providing his editorial insights.
Yep, and we are so excited to have Dr. Mike Natter on board, who is a talented artist, and because of his sketches, our listeners will be able to have multimodal learning, both listening to our podcast as well as visually learning through his drawings.
And thank you to Sean Finnegan, who wrote our theme music and is director of sound design. Check out Sean's other work at consolomusic.com. Also, thank you to Harit Shah for editing and being instrumental on the technical side of things.
Also, a huge shout out to the Medical Educators Podcasting Conference. That's why I learned a ton from expert podcasters like Swami from NYU, Scott Weingard, Anton Hellman, Salim, Rod Rogers. They have been supportive till this day, helping us along in answering our questions.
And with that, we ask you to take a listen to our bi-weekly podcast released on Wednesdays. Please subscribe to us and rate us on iTunes or Stitcher. You can also find us on Twitter at Marty_Freed
or Shreya Trivedi MD.
And give us additional feedback at coreimpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.